Good day. Thank you very much, Ligao National High School, for inviting me in your Gender and Development Training today, December 14, 2020. Our terminal objective is at the end of this session, the participants should be able to develop deeper understanding on managing learners' behavior constructively by applying positive and nonviolent discipline to ensure learner-focused environments. Our enabling objectives describe positive and nonviolent discipline and explain relationship of Dep Ed Order number 40, Series 2012 and Dep Ed Order number 42, Series 2017. I have here a situation from a news article from PDI published on October 20, 2020, where a student was accused of staging kidnap during online class. And in this news, we want you, the participants, to share how those 4 people reacted or responded in the actual situation. Let's proceed. We will describe how these people in the article, or these 4 people here, responded during the actual as shown in the news article. 1. How did the principal react or responded to the actual student's behavior? Number 2, how did the teacher react or respond? Number 3, how about the police? And number 4, how about the school staff? We will read together. We can read aloud, we can read silently in the news article. A high school student in United States allegedly staged a kidnapping prank during a virtual class and got the police involved. The 11th grade male student was attending an online class on Thursday morning, October 15, when the incident took place. The student from the mentioned high school initially had his camera off during the class held via Zoom. When it was turned on, 2 males were seen with him. One of the men was in a black mask and waving what looked like a gun. The teacher removed the student from the Zoom call and reached out to the school's administration. School staff alerted police about the incident and sought a welfare check on the teen. When police arrived at the student's home, they learned that the student was safe. The man in the mask was a friend and the weapon was an airsoft gun. Principal Elizabeth L. Thomas described the prank as a serious incident in a message to the school community. She appealed to parents to talk to their kids about appropriate behavior during virtual class sessions. Niña V. Guno. Questions. How did the principal reacted? How the teacher reacted? How the police reacted? And how the school staff reacted in the actual news article? We have here questions. Number 1, what was the first action of the teacher when he or she found out about the alleged staged kidnapping? What was the first action of the teacher? Ano po ang ginawa ng teacher nung nalaman niya, nung nakita niya sa Zoom call, sa klase nila, sa virtual class nila, na merong nangyayari doon sa estudyante? Ay, agad-agad na ni-remove siya sa Zoom call. Okay, number 2. How did other people, such as the school staff, the police, including the principal, school staff, police, the principal, manage the students' behavior? Ano yung ginawa nung school staff? Ano yung ginawa ng police? Ano yung ginawa ng principal doon sa actual na sitwasyon? Nung malaman, di ba po, in-alert ni teacher yung school admin. Then yung school admin, school staff, in-alert ang police. Then ang police pumunta doon sa lugar ng bata and then nag-investigate at nalaman nila na ayun pala ay staged. Yung mapapansin po ninyo, ang balitang yun ay in America. And we would like to use the situation upang ipakita sa ating session na ano ang dapat gawin, ano yung mga naging reaction nila at paano natin titingnan, magagamit yung reaction nila sa ating pag-uusap in our conversation. While in the Philippine context, we will be sharing nuggets from each of these and we will link each one to our discussion today. Number 1, DepEd Vision and Mission. Number 2, Child Protection Policy. Number 3, Philippine Professional Standard for Teachers. The topic given to me was managing learners' behavior constructively. And we added, by applying positive and non-violent discipline to ensure learning-focused environment. I would like to highlight that we can manage learners' behavior constructively by applying positive and non-violent discipline to ensure learning-focused environment. The goal why we should manage learners' behavior constructively is to have this, ma-ensure yung learning-focused environment. Why? We have defined learners' behavior, positive and non-violent discipline, and learning-focused environment. First, learner's behavior. What is learner's behavior? This refers to the learner's manner of conducting himself/herself involving action and response to the stimulation. So, doon po sa activity natin kanina, doon sa news, ay yung prank. Ayan? Yung prank, ang paggawa ng stage kidnapping. It emphasizes the crucial link between the way in which learners learn and their social knowledge and behavior. Paano minanage ng teacher yung learner's manner of conducting himself or herself? Positive and non-violent discipline. This involves the constructive discipline through non-violent, respectful, and diplomatic means. It is a way of disciplining a learner or managing learner behavior through dialogue and counseling. It avoids the use of punishment such as spanking, verbal abuse, and humiliation. This is positive and non-violent discipline. And we have the goal why we should manage learners' behavior constructively to ensure learning-focused environment. What does this mean? This refers to a classroom atmosphere that encourages maximum learners' participation, free from disruptions by unpleasant learners' behavior. So, yung ginawa kanina sa ating news article ng isang estudyante, American student, okay, ay unpleasant. Bakit? Kaya nga po doon sa last part, sinabi ng principal na dapat magkaroon ng appropriate behavior yung estudyante at yung pakikipagtulungan sa mga magulang, yung pakikipag-usap. Okay? Let us ask ourselves, why and how? Bakit kailangan natin i-manage ang learner's behavior constructively? At bakit kailangan natin na i-apply ang positive and non-violent discipline? Dalawang tanong. Tanungin natin ang sarili. Let's go back kung bakit natin at bakit tayo nagpapatuloy. To our attendees today in our GAD activity, bakit tayo nandito? O bakit ako bilang guro ay nandito sa Ligao National High School? Bakit ako bilang ang security guard ay nandito sa Ligao National High School? Let us ask ourselves why. Because babalikan natin sa organization na kinabibilangan natin, the DepEd Vision and Mission. Ano yung sinasabi sa DepEd Vision? We dream of Filipinos who passionately love their country and whose values and competencies enable them to realize, quote-unquote, realize their full potential and contribute meaningfully to building the nation. Nais natin yung mga learners natin ay ma-realize nila natin, including you, ma-realize mo, ma-realize din ng learners natin ang full potential upang makapag-contribute tayo meaningfully. This, tingnan natin, the DepEd stated itself as a learner-centered public institution. The Department of Education continuously improves itself to better serve its stakeholders. Sa DepEd Vision, sinabi mismo na dapat, learner-centered ang DepEd. Okay? Learner-centered public institution na nais ma-improve ang kanyang sarili upang makapagsilbi pa sa stakeholders. How do we achieve this vision? By the DepEd mission. Ano yung DepEd mission? To protect and promote the right of every Filipino to quality, equitable, culture-based, and complete basic education where the students learn in a child-friendly, gender-sensitive, safe, and motivating environment. Ang gusto ng DepEd upang ma-attain natin yung vision ng DepEd, yung mga estudyante ay natututo sa child-friendly na environment, sa gender-sensitive environment, sa safe and motivating environment. That's why, babalikan natin, we need to manage learners' behavior constructively by applying positive and non-violent discipline because we want students to learn in a child-friendly, gender-sensitive, safe, and motivating environment where also teachers facilitate learning and constantly nurture every learner. Yung guro na tulad mo at tulad ko, sinabi sa DepEd mission, ay nagpapatuloy upang i-facilitate ang learning at constantly nurture every learner. Administrators and staff, as stewards of the institution, ensure an enabling and supportive environment. Kung makikita natin po dito sa DepEd mission, the students, the teachers, the admin, the family, okay? Family and community and other stakeholders are actively engaged and share responsibility for developing lifelong learners. So, ang goal, yung students, teachers, admin, and staff, faculty, community, and other stakeholders ay merong shared responsibility para magkaroon tayo ng lifelong learners. Balikan natin sa situation kanina doon sa news, sa Amerika nangyari yon. Gusto natin makita yung sitwasyon at may apply natin dito sa Philippine context na doon yung teacher gumawa ng kanyang role, ang principal, ang kanyang school staff, as well as the police as outside stakeholders upang ma-address yung problem o yung misbehavior ng estudyante. Ganun din sa atin, sa Philippine context, sa paraang tayo ay matuto, sa ating pagkatuto, actively engage itong lahat. May role ang students, may papel na ginagampanan ang bawat isa. At bakit ko binanggit yung DepEd Vision and Mission? Dahil, ang pag-manage ng learners' behavior ay belong doon sa teachers. And hindi lang sa teachers, yung admin and staff. Kasi, enabling and supportive environment. Hindi lang din doon sa admin and staff, even in family, community, and other stakeholders. Dahil ang gusto ng DepEd, yung estudyante ay natututo in a child-friendly, gender-sensitive, safe, and motivating environment. DepEd Vision and Mission shows how each of us can and should play a role or roles in the learning-focused environment. At nais nating banggitin, isa sa mga enabling objectives natin ay makita yung relationship ng DepEd Order 40 sa DepEd Order 40 Series 2012 and DepEd Order 42 Series 2017. Ano po itong DepEd Order 40 Series 2012? Ito po yung child protection policy ng DepEd. DepEd issued policy and guidelines on protecting children kasi learning-focused environment. Ang focus dito, binibigyan ng proteksyon ng DepEd, polisiya ng DepEd upang mabigyan ng proteksyon ang mga bata. Why? Because students should learn in safe, alright? Safe, motivating, gender-sensitive, dahil karapatan nila yon. Diba? Isa yon sa DepEd mission. From abuse, violence, exploitation, discrimination, bullying, and other forms. Ano ang andon sa DepEd Order 40 Series 2012? Nandun po yung duties and responsibilities of DepEd Central Office, Regional Office, Division Office, schools, school personnel are stated in the Section 2, Section 4 to 10 of the said DepEd Order. Sa sinabi din po sa DepEd Order 40 Series 2012 or Child Protection Policy ng DepEd, ang Section 11 doon na may nagkaroon ng policy na ito upang ma-prevent, okay? Meron din na sabi doon sa Section 11, preventive measures where schools officials, personnel, parents, and students shall have capacity building. So, ibig sabihin, mga dear participants in our GAD training, doon sa Section 11 ng Child Protection Policy o DepEd Order 40 Series 2012, ipinakita doon yung preventive measures. Dahil, ang goal natin dito ay mailayo sila. Mailayo saan? Sa anumang abuse, sa anumang violence. Because, alam natin, gusto natin child-friendly ang environment. Motivating, safe ang environment ng ating mga estudyante, ng ating mga learners. They shall use in the same section, Section 11 of the Child Protection Policy, ay nabanggit doon yung one of our objectives ay ma-describe yung sinasabi nating positive and non-violent discipline. Anong ibig sabihin ng positive and non-violent? They shall use training modules which includes positive and non-violent discipline in classroom management, anger and stress management, gender sensitivity. In the same DepEd Order number 40, ay dinefine ito, the definition from DepEd Order 40 Series 2012, positive and nonviolent discipline is a way of thinking and holistic, constructive, and proactive approach to teaching that helps children develop appropriate thinking and behavior in the short and long term and fosters self-discipline. In the Child Protection Policy or DepEd Order 40 Series 2012, binanggit doon at dinefine yung positive and nonviolent discipline kung saan nire-recognize that children are full human beings with basic human rights. Positive discipline begins with setting the long-term goals or impacts that teachers want to have on their students, adults' lives, and using everyday situations and challenges as opportunities to teach lifelong skills and values. In August 2017, Department of Education Secretary Leonor Briones signed the Philippine Professional Standards for Teachers or PPST into policy to DepEd Order number 42 Series 2017. Anong tanong natin ngayon? Ano yung relasyon? Paano natin malilink yung DepEd Order 40 Series 2012 sa DepEd Order 42 Series 2017? So, inisyo yung Child Protection Policy 2012. After 5 years, inisyo naman itong PPST. Ano yung relasyon ng dalawa? Upang, balik tayo sa topic, to manage learners' behavior constructively by applying positive and nonviolent discipline. Paano ito dito napasok sa PPST? Both DepEd Order 40 Series 2012 and DepEd Order 42 mentions positive and nonviolent discipline of our learners. And in fact, yung managing learners' behavior constructively by applying positive and nonviolent discipline is one of the 12 indicators in the PPST. or one of the 6 strands under domain number 2 for learning environment. Managing learner behavior is one of the 6 strands under domain number 2, learning environment. Bilang teacher, bilang classroom manager, we do have the responsibility to equip our learners with skills, to build their sense of community, to improve academic performance, and to prepare them to be productive individuals. Isa ang GAD activity natin ngayon para sa capacity building nating mga guro. Even ng school admin, ng staff, base doon sa Section 11 of Dep Ed Order 40, Series 2012. And with positive and nonviolent discipline, our learners will see a connection among their behavior, the personal consequences, and the impact of their actions to others. Mas maganda na maipakita natin sa ating mga learners ano yung connection na kanilang ginagawa at ano yung pwedeng consequences ng kanilang ginagawa. At sa kanila, maging sa iba. Managing learner behavior is not an easy task. Even the most experienced teacher knows that positive discipline does not happen overnight. Managing learner behavior is a learned skill which every teacher must master. Classroom management begins even before the learners enter the classroom, lalo na nung nasa face-to-face tayo. But ang tanong, ngayon na nasa panahon tayo ng pandemic, managing learners' behavior is still one of the things we must master or we must do. Teachers have their own way of managing their learners' behavior, but it has to be kept in your mind that learners need to feel valued and respected as individuals. Bakit? May karapatan sila. May karapatan sila. Teachers must show them that they have honest interest in each one of the learners, not just as a class, but also as individuals. Sometimes, learners go against the rules because they do not see that they are doing or what they are doing is wrong. Others do it to test how far teachers can control them. There are many potential influences or learner behavior and many factors that can lead to challenging behavior that teachers have to deal with. Nandito sa inyo pong harapan yung factors leading to misbehavior, okay, and the examples. Halimbawa dito sa biophysical, we have medical conditions or disabilities. Sa psychological, we have the emotional trauma or lack of social skills. Sa historical community, the student transferee from conflict area who has difficulty adjusting to his or her new learning environment. Factors leading to misbehavior again is learner group dynamics, the environmental, classroom organization issues, and teacher behavior. Yung teacher behavior po ay isa ding factor leading to misbehavior. Ano example natin dito? Kung ang teacher ay boring, merong disorganized lesson, merong overreaction sa misbehavior, or over-reliance on consequences of learners' action. So, ibig sabihin, dapat ang isang teacher natin, sinabi natin kanina, mahirap at hindi natin ito magagawa in just overnight. Kaya meron tayong continue na capacity building and even deeper reflection and also support group, okay, na pag-uusap tulad ng ganitong training na ito kung paano natin mas magagawa sa tulong ng ating mga kaibigan, co-teachers, and the environment, paano natin mamamanage ang learner behavior constructively by applying positive and nonviolent discipline to ensure learning-focused environment. Ang tanong ko dito, musta ang learner's behavior ngayong panahon ng pandemic? Musta ang Ligao National High School students ngayong panahon ng pandemic? Maraming salamat na meron tayong homeroom guidance. Salamat sa ating pong ESP teachers. Salamat sa ating mga gumawa ng modules upang magkaroon tayo ng guidance, even psycho-social support para sa mga estudyante bago pa man mag-opening ang klase. Salamat na merong mga modules na na-develop ang Ligao National High School na ako mismo bilang class advisor ay nakita kung gaano ito kaganda. Maipakita yung katatagan, katalinuhan, kalakasan ng isang estudyante sa panahon ng pandemya. Maraming salamat. At isa ito na maaring maging paraan sa pamamagitan ng modules, maipakita sa kanila, maalagaan sila, magabayan sila, ano ang dapat na kanilang gawin, at ganin din po yung kanilang mental health. Bakit? Because mahalaga yung bawat learner sa DepEd. Mahalaga ang estudyante sa DepEd. Tanong, musta ang learners' behavior ngayong panahon ng pandemic? Musta ang behavior nila sa iba't ibang modality? At paano ang isang teacher na tulad mo, isang staff, school staff na tulad mo, how should we respond to those behaviors? Behaviors, pwede. How should we respond sa kanilang mga actions? For example, halimbawa, meron tayong let's mention, na isang estudyante na nag-submit ng kanyang outputs na late. Ano ang dapat nating gawin? Ano ang dapat nating reaction? Ano ang dapat nating sabihin? Sabihin ba, pagalitan ba agad natin? Sabihin natin, yata ka late. Diba? Yun ba ang tama nating gawin? So, sabi sa topic natin dito is dapat ang isang teacher, ang isang staff, ang isang school admin should manage learners' behavior constructively. Constructively, hindi destructively. By applying positive and non-violent. Sabi ng diba? Define natin non-violent discipline. At meron ako ditong ibabahagi na mga example ng behavior at ilang tips ayon po sa PPST o Dep Ed Order 42 Series 2017 Module 5 ng PPST Resource Package. What should you do when a learner disrespects you? Okay, sa ating participants, pwede po kayong mag-comment, pwede po kayong mag-chat sa chat box sa ating Google Meet. Pwede kayong mag-comment, mag-reply, mag-chat na ifa-facilitate ng ating pong facilitator, ng ating host. What should you do when a learner disrespects you? Kung ikaw, isang teacher, ano yung gagawin kung ang isang learner sa online class, okay, sa modular distance learning, okay, sa pamamagitan siguro ng chat, nagtanong o doon sa mga learners output na sinulat or in whatever way, ano ang dapat mong gawin kung isang estudyante ay dinisrespect ka? Type na. Maraming salamat sa lahat ng nag-type at sa lahat ng nag-respond and nag-participate. What should you do when a learner disrespects you? Here are the ways how to deal with the situation. 1. Do not yell, scold, admonish, lecture, or get even with the learner if he or she disrespects or talks back to you. As much as possible, ang teacher ay dapat kalmado, calm, cool, and collected. Okay, calm, cool, and collected. Porque po na sinigawan ka ay you will shout back. Number 2, take a deep breath to control any anger feelings rising inside you. Kaya doon sa section 11 ng Dep Ed Order, dapat may training, capacity building ang isang teacher para yung stress management, anger management ay magkaroon ang hindi lang teacher, kundi parents, school admin, staff, even teachers. Do not say any word but maintain eye contact with the learner and wait. End the situation as quickly as possible. as much as possible, ay resolve. Your refusal to react will leave the learner speechless. Talk to the learner when he or she is calm and deliver the logical consequences of his or her action. I-apply na natin yung positive and non-violent discipline. Kausapin natin yung learner. Kung siya na po ay kalmado, ano yung consequences ng kanyang ginagawa? For overt disrespect, document the incident and notify the parents, the guidance counselor, and the school head. If you follow the above steps, even the most learner will be affected by his or her mistake. The next thing to follow is receiving a sincere and voluntary apology. This is taken from the PPST Module 5 resource package. Here's another situation. What should you do? This should be, what should a teacher? So, since hindi lang po teachers ang ating participants, may mga kasama tayo. So, what should you do if a learner exhibits habitual failure in submitting assignments, homeworks, and outputs? Anong magiging pwede mong gawin? Anong dapat mong gawin kung ang isang estudyante ay, sabi dito, habitual failure in submitting assignments, homeworks, outputs? Agad ba nating sasabihin na, oh, mababagsak ka? Diba? Oh, di ka makapasa. Ano dapat nating gawin? Halimbawa, ikaw na parent, anong dapat mong gawin kung ito ang sitwasyon? Kung ikaw ay isang school principal, ano dapat mong gawin? Kung ikaw ay isang, nalaman mo na itong estudyante na to ay palagi ang hindi nagsasubmit. Sabi dito, habitual failure in submitting assignments, homeworks, and outputs. Halimbawa, ngayon sa panahon ng modular distance learning, anong dapat mong gawin? Here are suggestions mula sa ating PPST resource package. When learners fail to submit assignments habitually, you model trust. Sometimes, learners lack the motivation to do their homework. That is why strong encouragement from you is needed. They need to know what you believe in their ability to do assignments so that they too believe in themselves. Siguro, sabi dito po, nais express ang iyong nais na encouragement at tiwala doon sa ating learner upang in the end ay siya po ay makapag-submit. The following steps may help you. Number 1, do not take it personally. Students do not fail to submit their homework because they simply do not like the teachers. There are many reasons why students could not do their assignment. Na huwag natin agad isipin na porke hindi sa'yo nag-submit ay galit sa'yo or mahinanakit sa'yo. Number 2, give the students the benefit of the doubt the first time they do not submit their assignment. But get really suspicious the second and third time. Kung napansin ninyo na sa ikalawa, ikatlo ay hindi na siya nag-submit, ay maging alerto na tayo. Alamin na natin yung reasons. Talk to the students if failure in submitting assignment is becoming a habit. Kausapin natin yung ating estudyante. Bakit? Diba? Bakit? Okay. Explain to them the logical consequences of not submitting assignments. Maganda, sabi dito, i-apply yung positive and non-violent discipline. Kausapin natin, ano po? Sabi baga po doon sa ating definition kanina, hindi verbal abuse, hindi humiliation. Positive and non-violent discipline. Guide them on how they could manage their time so that they could do their assignments on time. Siguro magkaroon tayo ng extension, magkaroon ng time para magabayan sila. Pwede natin po silang home visit upang malaman yung makita natin, makausap din as well ang parents. Bakit? Yun po ay yung estudyante, yung mentioned student ay hindi nakakapag-submit ng, ng output o ng assignment. Inspire the student or students by telling them that you trust that they can do their assignments next time. Mas maganda po na yung communication sa ating learner bilang teacher ay nandoon. Ay hindi po maaalis. Ma-express natin yung tiwala na next time ay makakapag-submit sila. So, naipakita natin, ano po, yung dalawa na sitwasyon na pwede sa dalawang sitwasyon, ano dapat yung maging reaction, maging response ng isang teacher sa learner's behavior. So, ang PPST, isa sa strand, okay? Doon sa domain number 2, learning environment. Manage learner's behavior, or manage the behavior of the learners. Pandemic has brought many challenges to everyone, but education must continue. Learning must continue. Gaya ng sinabi ni Secretary Leonor Briones on November 3, 2020, ini-encourage natin ang initiative ng mga school. Education still continues whatever the situation. May bagyo, may baha, may earthquake, may COVID-19. Hindi natin iiwanan ang mga bata. Dahil mahalaga ang bata sa DepEd. Okay? Nandito tayo because of these children. Nandito tayo mga teachers because of these children. Kaya mahalaga, kaya ng sinabi po doon sa Dep Ed Order 40 series of 2012, binibigyan sila ng protection. Binibigyan ng preventive measures. Binibigyan ng capacity building upang matulungan sila, mailayo sila sa anumang violence, etc. At dito naman po sa PPST ay binigyan tayo sa Dep Ed Order 42 Series 2012 ay binigyan tayo ng kaparaanan para matulungan ng teachers, lalo na po yung beginning teachers, paano itong mga domains na ito, sa strands na ito ay magabayan tayo. At sa lahat na nag-attend, may we be able to manage learners' behavior, anuman na modality, panahon man ng pandemic, by applying positive and non-violent discipline. Maraming salamat po sa lahat na nag-participate sa training na ito. Maraming salamat po sa pag-imbita. Maraming salamat, Ma'am Rhea Angela, and all those na kaibigan natin sa Ligao National High School, sa principal, sa GAD coordinator. Maraming salamat po sa pag-invite ninyo sa akin na maging bahagi ng inyo pong activity. Maraming salamat po. Thank you very much.